Hi everyone. So I want to briefly go over your prompt for your next project. A lot like your last project, you're going to turn in a major project that's going to take weeks to do. But along the way, you're going to go ahead and turn in other assignments that support that assignment. And those assignments are also things that you might be asked to do in a workplace. So you're going to learn how to do the main assignment, which is the instructions, but you're going to learn how to do other things like a proposal and a progress report, which are real documents that you might be asked to do in the workplace. Okay, so the entire project process allows us multiple opportunities for learning. Okay, the people who are going to do the best on the next project are the ones who are going to address the real problem, right? Instead of approaching this as I need to make an instructional video, what can I make an instructional video of? That's not a very effective approach to it. The better approach to this situation would be this is a real problem that real teachers have. What is a real solution to that problem? If you think of it that way, you will naturally come up with a better project and product. Okay, so just to set up the problem for you guys and clarify a little bit more, it's hard for a lot of you guys to imagine because most of you guys are between 18 and 25. I know I have a few older students, but there was a lot of time without the internet, and even when we did get the internet, it wasn't so much a part of the workplace as it is now. And so teachers at FIU and across the country recognize that they need to be teaching students to use these technologies, but in many cases they're just self-conscious, right? They're smart people, they have PhDs, they can learn, but they just, hesitate to assign something to students that they don't know how to use, or they're afraid to assign something to students that is going to expose that the student knows more about it than they do, or they literally just don't know some of these programs exist. So they want to learn. We have meetings all the time talking about how do we incorporate more technology into the classroom to prepare you guys for the world we live in. And if we have this much technology in our lives right now, what's it going to look like 25 years from now, right? So teachers recognize that we should be teaching you a lot more technology, but technology is changing so quickly that your teachers, even the ones who are not that old, like maybe in their 40s, just have not kept up in a lot of cases. So you should think about a real class maybe you have where you think, I wish the teacher had taught us this technology, or I wish instead of doing it on pen and paper or using a Word document, we had done it using this technology. Or instead of teaching me X, whatever X was, I wish they had spent more time on Y, and Y involves some kind of technology. And then you identify that real solution to the real problem that your teachers are having, and it can be, one of your computer science. Most of the people in this class are computer science, but not everybody. But just to use that as an example, it can be one of your computer science classes that you wish you had done something a little bit differently. But you can think about a generic course that you took, a math class, an English class sort of thing, and a technology that you think it would have been really useful to learn in that class, or it would have been better if we had done a project using this technology, okay? So the instructions are a little bit vague because I want to give you lots of opportunities to come up with things. On a really basic level, you could think about ways that teachers could have used YouTube, or the way they could have used, let's say, there's a program called VoiceThread, which I've made one video for you guys when I taught you about memos using VoiceThread. But you have all these programs in the world that you could pick from, and you're just teaching them how to use this in a classroom, okay? I don't want, 60 YouTube instructionals. I would really challenge you to find a program or website that you think a teacher or teachers should be using in their classroom. Okay, and then I say program or website. They're technically two different things, but more and more, some programs are just run off the web, so you go to a website to run the program, so people might think of it more as a website. Once you've identified that, you're going to teach them either the basics of that program or how to do sort of the main task that program is made to do, or you're going to teach them like one or two small processes. All of that depends on how long it takes you, right? If you can just explain one process in 1 minute, then you need to explain a few processes. If you can explain one process in 8 minutes, then you only have to explain one, okay? So I'm giving you a lot of leeway here because this is a real world problem, and if I constrain the problem, constrain exactly how long the video has to be, exactly what kind of program you're going to use, then I am taking the realness out of the issue, okay? And I want you to be problem solvers, okay? Once you have figured out this is what I want to teach teachers, this is what about that program I want to teach them, the second part of the problem solving process is what software are you going to use to create your instructional video. So there's screen recordings, and there are programs like VoiceThread or PowerPoint, which will allow you to make videos. And there's all kinds of software out there, iMovie. What are you going to use? And you're going to need to think about what is your video going to look like. If you see instructional videos on the web, you see all kinds of things. You see stick figures, you see screen grabs, you see video screen recordings, you see people talking, you see PowerPoint slides flashing across the screen. Are there going to be captions? What is the video going to look like? So for that reason, you're going to turn in the first two parts that you're going to turn in is the first thing is going to be a proposal where you're going to explain to me, this is what I want to teach teachers. These are the teachers I have in mind. I have my Calc 2 teacher in mind when I'm thinking about this, or I'm thinking about English teachers when I'm thinking about this. And this is what I want to teach them and why. So you're going to propose what you want to do for your video and give me enough detail that I can give you feedback and say like, whoa, you were taking on way too much for this video. You don't have to do all that. Or I can say like, actually, I don't think that's enough, or like, why don't you focus on this part, just to help you get a good grade and make sure you manage a good scope of your project. And then the second thing you're going to turn in is going to be a design plan. And I want this to look like a formal handout sort of thing. And you're going to turn in a design plan where you're going to say, this is the software I'm going to use to make my video, and this is what I want my video to look like, and this is the outline of my video. Now, for your design plan, for that to work well, you need to kind of explore and look at different programs that you might want to use so that you already have those decisions made. So there's some exploration that needs to take place before you write the design plan. And in the design plan, I invite you to include even a link to a video that you're using as a model if you want to do that. Like, I really like the way this instructional video was done, and I want to kind of use it as a model. That's totally legit in professional communication. You obviously cannot plagiarize. You cannot take word for word what another video already says and make it look exactly the same in every way. But you can say, I kind of like the way this video does transitions. I like the way this video did the instructions. I'm going to use them as a model. And that's totally legit in professional communication. Okay? Now, your design plan and your proposal, you can already look ahead to see those instructions. And they're open over a week in advance. So if you finish that early, you can turn that in early. I have no problem with that. And then when the project is underway, you're going to turn in a progress report. I'll give you more instructions when we get underway for a progress report, but essentially a progress report is what you might write for your boss in the real workplace, where they're checking in and you're not just answering their question, where are you? But you're sort of proving to them you have a plan for finishing on time. And then more importantly, it becomes like a legal document. This is where we were at this point in the project. So if you're going to write a progress report where you're going to tell me what you have done so far, what problems you've encountered, what solutions you found to those problems, where you're going to go moving forward with the project, how you're going to get it done in time, sort of thing. So we'll learn how to do a progress report. Right now, what I want you to focus on is start thinking about the solution to the problem. What technology should teachers be teaching in their classroom, and how can I teach them the basics of that technology? And be creative. There are sort of no restrictions in a lot of ways. I'm not, I might tell you something is going to be hard for you, but it's going to be generally approved that as long as you feel like you can spend 5 full minutes explaining this technology, and it isn't a technology people already know, like email, that it'll probably be okay. It should be something that is going to be instructional. You don't want to teach them something they already know, because now you're just wasting your time and theirs, okay? So be thinking about what topic you want to do and start drafting your proposal. Reach out to me if you have any questions. I hope that clarified the assignment for you. You have reading to do to learn about these things, but I'm here if you need me, okay?